Hello everyone. Today on this lecture we discuss about the pneumonia. So pneumonia is the infection or the inflammation conditions of the alveoli. So alveoli is the functional unit of the lungs as we discussed earlier. So what is the definition of the pneumonia? So pneumonia is a form of acute respiratory infections that characterize as inflammation of the parenchyma of the lungs and the alveoli filling with fluid. The two things we have to clear. One thing, the inflammation of the parenchyma of the lungs, and the second part, the alveoli filled with fluid. So this is the picture of the alveoli. Okay, so in alveoli what happened, there are two types of cells are there. Type 1 cell, that is the pneumocytes that secrete the mucus, and type 2 cell, this is the type 1 cell and this is the type 2 cells. They secrete the surfactant that will be prevent from collection as we discussed in earlier class. And there is also presence from the alveolar macrophages that also be present. So how this gas exchange takes place? This alveoli, the wall of the alveoli is very thin. This is the thin layer. When we inhale, so the oxygen, the partial pressure of oxygen during inhale, so that is 100 mmHg, and the carbon dioxide pressure that is 38 mmHg. Okay, at the same time in the blood vessels, in the capillary, the oxygen pressure is 40 mmHg and the carbon dioxide is 42 mmHg. Okay, due to the pressure gradient, because that is 100 mmHg oxygen pressure and here that is 40 mmHg, so difference is very more. So due to the difference pressure gradient, the oxygen from the alveoli that will be moved towards the blood vessels. So the oxygen that will be moved towards the blood vessels. Okay, and the carbon dioxide that is 40 mmHg that will be moved from the blood vessels towards the alveolary space. Carbon dioxide that is moved toward the alveolary space, because the pressure gradient of oxygen is 100 mmHg, in the blood vessel that is 40 mmHg. That's why diffusion is carried out, and this whole diffusion is carried by these three. This is the basement membrane, very thin basement membrane. So one is the capillary, that is the thin wall of the epithelial thin wall of the lungs, and here is the endothelial layer of the blood vessels. This is the endothelial layer of the blood vessels. Okay, so this is in between them, that is the basement membrane. So this is called the blood air barrier is also called. So by this thin layer that the gas exchange takes place. So this thin layer is found in where the alveoli, respiratory bronchioles, terminal bronchioles, and the alveolary duct. So these are called the parenchymal cell of the lungs. So first we look at what is the parenchymal cell. So in the further discussion we see how this parenchymal cell will be infected. Let's see the cause of the pneumonia. The cause is mainly the bacteria is the main villain, or you say 65 cases. 65% of cases is caused by the bacteria. And what are the bacteria? Streptococcus pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenza, Staphylococcus aureus, Mycoplasma pneumonia, and the chlamydia. And virus also be affecting. So that is 25% of chances of viral. So the adenovirus, influenza A and B, they also will be main cause of the viral pneumonia. And also the fungi, asparagus, and the parasite also be cause pneumonia. But that pneumonia is called the atypical pneumonia because there is a chance of virulence is more more or less. Virulence is less. So this is called the atypical pneumonia. So due to this pneumonia is spread from the droplet infections. So it is a contagious. Okay, and is classified. The disease is classified on the basis of spread. That is, one is the community acquired pneumonia. Second one is the hospital acquired pneumonia. Third one is the chemical pneumonia, and the fourth one is the aspirated gastric content. So by these four the mode of or the spread of disease, it is classified into four category. Let's see the pathophysiology, how this bacteria, mainly the bacteria that which is causing the pneumonia, how this enter in our body and what are the changes, what are the functions will be affected by this bacteria. So if you inhale, so we see when we inhale dust particles or pollen grains or anything that will come in the within our nostril, so we sneeze or we cough, so they will be expelled from our body. So our alimentary tract, our respiratory tract is lined with ciliated pseudostratified ciliated epithelial cell. So there the action is that they always throw out the microbes. They don't allow the microbes to enter into the lower respiratory tract. If by chance, if the bacteria that will be entered in our alveoli, so we will be cut with, it will be chance of pneumonia will be increases. So when the bacteria enter into the lower respiratory tract, that will be enter to our what alveoli, so colonization or the multiplication of the bacteria will be takes place. So when now see the bacteria in this picture B, we see one of the bacteria that will be enter in our what blood vessel in the alveolar space. So let's see. Okay, so when this bacteria that will be entered in our alveolar space, so in alveoli there is macrophages are there. So macrophages having the phagocytic actions. This macrophages is called alveolar macrophages, A and AV. So alveolar macrophages are there. So they what they will do, they due to the presence due to the multiplications of the bacteria, entering of the bacteria, the macrophages give signal. Okay, and these signals, what are they release some cytokines. So what are the cytokines? Some of the cytokines like interleukin 1, TNF alpha and interleukin 6. So these are the cytokines that will be released. Okay, and due to the cytokines, so what cytokines are the signaling action. So they give signal to the neutrophils, because the neutrophils they will be rush towards the inflammation sites. So now this is the action of the alveolar this is the alveolar macrophage. Now the bacteria what he will do, they will give some endotoxins. So in bacteria, here the bacteria that will be secret one of the endotoxin that is called the leukotriene B4. So one of the endotoxin that will be secret, and this endotoxin leukotriene that will be secret on the wall. There will be and this the wall become degenerate. Now the wall become inflamed. In first picture you say this layer is very thin. Now the layer is inflamed. Why this inflammation takes place? Because of the endotoxin that is called leukotriene B4. Where it comes? It is the endotoxin released by the bacteria. So this bacteria release some endotoxin. That name is leukotriene B4. Due to this leukotriene B4, the wall become inflamed or thick. And also it will be affect the adjacent area. This adjacent area also be affected. What happened? This leukotriene B4 that will be entered to this endothelial layer. So because this blood vessels or the capillaries are around the alveoli, so this alveolar it will be crushed the alveolar wall, and the alveoli what happened? The vasodilation of the alveoli will be take place. Here see the blood vessel capillary is very thin. As a picture I have given is thin size. But here what happens? The capillary become widening, that is the vasodilation. Okay, due to the vasodilation, the permeable capacity of the blood vessel will be increases. So from this blood vessels, fluid will be go to the alveolar site. Okay, so plasma and the blood fluids, proteins, so that will be transferred from the blood vessels towards the alveolar space. And within that, neutrophil, because the cytokines are released, they are giving the signal. So the neutrophil, they will be rush towards the migrate from the blood vessels towards the what? This is the neutrophil that will be also move towards the alveolar space. And through this and also some of the RBC red blood cells, they also be escape or migrate from the blood vessels towards the what? The alveolar space. Now see in the first picture, in the second picture, this alveolar space, this is white, it is seen as white because there is empty. This space is only for the air. Okay. But here what happened? This is the hijack, or you say the fluids are accumulating, infiltrate within this area. So now if we inhale the oxygen, now the air will become, oxygen will become inhale. So oxygen, can it move from this thick layer? Diffusion process will be carried out properly. No, so that the diffusion will be not carried out, and the blood, the oxygen will be decreases in the what blood vessels, that leads to a condition hypoxia. Okay, and that will be and become complicated, and patient will be other complication will be arises. So in pathology we see the microorganism trap in the mucus, that is the first layer, because we know anything will be enter, we cough or sneeze to move out from the body. If by chance that will be enter into the lower respiratory tract. So in the lower respiratory tract, there is another one is present, the security guard, that is the alveolar macrophages. They are present there. So when these microorganisms, particularly bacteria, that will be enter, they give some cytokines. Cytokines is interleukin 1, TNF, tumor necrosis factor alpha, and the interleukin 6. So for every action there is reactions. So the bacteria, they also be give some endotoxins. This endotoxin name is leukotriene B4, and this leukotriene B4 that will be affect the parenchymal wall. So the activation of the neutrophils. So in the blood vessels, this from the neutrophil that will be moved towards the area of alveolary space, and the neutrophil migrate from the blood vessel to the alveolar space. Next, now the alveolary fluid with exudate, because already there is pus, leukocytes, WBC, neutrophils, and the RBC already there. Okay, and that is called the exudate, and the interference with the diffusion. So the process of diffusion is not be carried out properly. So the oxygen and the carbon dioxide properly, gas exchange will not be take place. That condition is called hypoxia. So all these things happen in the pneumonia, and this is explained in 4 stage. Very easily we can understand how this change sign and symptom will be developed. So stage 1 is called consolidations. So stage 1, that is called the consolidations. So it is happened within the 24 hours. Okay, so why this solid name is come? Because the cellular exudate is there. This alveolar space is only for the air. If there is any pulse or any exudate there, then that is called the solidification. So that is called consolidation. And the capillary around the valvular is congested, and the coughing and the deep breathing. So cough and deep breathing, that will be seen within 24 hours of this infections. And after 1 to 2 days, what happens? That is called red hepatitis, because we see due to the vasodilation of the blood vessels, the red blood cells that move from the blood vessels towards the alveoli. So that is called the red hepatitis. Red means due to the RBC names, due to the RBCs are moving there. And this hepatitis means the consistency of the lungs is turned into liver consistency. So this is called a red hepatitis. So it is the consistency resembles as a river and the alveolary capillary and goes with the blood vessels, bloods. Now the third stage, that is grey. So this red color become turned into grey color. So this red color, let's after 3-4 days, that will be turned into grey color. It's not given grey color, so it's grey color, turn into grey color. Why this grey color? Due to the destruction of the RBC and the leukocytes. So they will be grey, destroy into the grey brown color, later become into yellow color will be happens. And the last one is called the fourth stage, that is the resolutions. So what is resolution? You know, in pneumonia, there is a sputum will be up. This sputum will become is only this yellow, the yellow color of the destroy RBC and the neutrophils. So they are destroyed first. The red hepatitis, second is the grey hepatitis. This grey color turn into yellow, and then resolution, that is the fourth stage. What happened? This large number of neutrophils enter into the alveolar space, and consolidation reaerate and cause the sputum. That will be reaerate, that this exudate, that will be move upwards, and that will become the productive curve, the sputum will be come out. So this is all about the pathophysiology, or is the pathophysiology, or you say the how the bacteria that will be enter in our body, and what is the main cause, that is hypoxia will be occur. Then later It's developed into stage 1, consolidation, stage 2, red hepatization, stage 3, grey hepatization, and the fourth one, that is the resolution. Okay, that is the productive sputum that will be come out during the time of cough. So that is the resolution. So this is all about the pneumonia. Thank you for watching and keep on subscribing.